Hello friends, welcome back to Fresh Perspective, where we'll be taking another look at life. And particularly what we do on this podcast is we look at relationships. And today we're just going to discuss the topic assumptions and suspicions, or assumptions versus suspicions. Let's dive into it. So if you've asked this question, right? What is wrong? If you ever ask that question, you've probably also heard this answer: nothing. And the way that the nothing is delivered confirms your suspicion that there is actually something wrong, and it might be even worse than you thought. We don't only receive these kind of answers, but all of us have probably given this kind of answer. So why does a simple, innocent question sometimes trigger such a negative reaction? Isn't it good to be concerned? And I've heard many people, and I'm including myself, complain with something along the lines of, I can see something is wrong, but when I ask, all I get is nothing. And here's the secret, my friend. Asking what is wrong is part of what's wrong. It's a mistake. A mistake we repeat again and again. Every time we ask the same question, we get the same reaction. Yet, the next time we notice that something's up, we just repeat the same question. And then, we are very surprised when we get the same reaction. Isn't that insane? So, to explain what I mean by changing the perspective on this, and why that's not such a great question, let's look at the definition of wrong. What does it mean? I want to thank Google for this. So I looked into it, and firstly, the adjective. It means not correct or true, not correct or true, or incorrect. So example, that is the wrong answer. Can also mean unjust, dishonest, or immoral. That was wrong of me. Adverb. In an unsuitable or undesirable manner or direction. What am I doing wrong? That's the sentence. Noun. An unjust, dishonest, or immoral act. I have done you a great wrong. And a verb. Act unjustly or dishonestly towards. They would kill a man who wronged a family. Or mistakenly attribute bad motives to or misrepresent. Perhaps I wrong him. So I hope you follow that. I was looking at Google, and that's kind of the definitions they gave of the different uses of the word wrong. And even if you didn't get that, my point is that whichever way you look at wrong, at that word, wrong is bad. So using the word wrong to start a conversation is not a great strategy. And I know that what we really mean when we ask this question is, what is bothering you, right? Most of the time we are actually concerned and trying to engage. But here's the cruel truth. Neither what is wrong or what is bothering you is a great question. Neither of those are great questions. So one reason for this is that there is an assumption locked up within that question. Something is wrong. That's the assumption. I want to know what it is so we can right it. Or something is bothering you. I want to know what it is so I can fix it. And relationships just aren't that mechanical. So, look at this. Quickly look at the difference between these two questions. What is wrong versus is something wrong? This small shift can already make a difference because we remove the assumption. But it's not enough. Is something wrong is still a bit of a clumsy question, because if the answer is yes, what will the follow-up question be? Yeah, you guessed it. What? What is wrong? But at least now we have a conversation going. Okay, so it might be a bit better. But True communication, though, can be taxing. It's very different, especially in the beginning when we're learning how to communicate differently. And I think that one of the reasons we keep on asking the same question, even when we know we will get the same answer, is because it's so hard to communicate truly and deeply. And learning to communicate differently can be hard and even scary because it's unknown, right? Will we get it right and won't we make it worse? Another thing is that our own projections can also cause us to read our partner's behavior in a way that makes us feel that something is wrong. So I'm not going to go, really deep into projections and what they are, but to put it simply, one form of projection is when we link the body language of our partner to something we did earlier. So, you might be thinking, maybe it is because fill in your unpopular behavior. Yeah, maybe it's because I forgot to put out the trash. Maybe it's because I didn't call earlier. Maybe it's because I didn't compliment the new hairstyle. Maybe it's because I was on the phone, or I don't know, whatever that might be. So we link that, and that's part of the projection. So there's an assumption there already. So we need to ask better questions, and we've discussed this before on this podcast, but a good question does not guarantee that we will have great communication. We definitely get better answers. It's still a team effort, right? Because every one of us is responsible to communicate our own needs and frustrations and emotions. That's our responsibility. We cannot rely on or wait for the right question. Okay, so we have to take responsibility to try and communicate things. But that being said, there are questions that help us create a safer space for better communication. And it does take practice, and it is a team effort. So try the following. See your assumptions as suspicions, and then test your suspicions with your partner. And it might sound something like this. Can I check something with you? It seems like you are caught up in your thoughts. Are you? Or can I check something with you? It seems to me like you are upset. Are you? Or I'm wondering if there's something that you want to talk about. You seem anxious to me. Are you? So if the answer is a sarcastic, well done, Sherlock, which can happen, follow up with, will you help me understand? Because I really want to. If the answer is no, then follow up with something like, is there something else you want to talk about? So keep the conversation going. Keep engaging. If the answer is yes, then follow up with something along the lines of, I'm willing to listen to you if you would like to talk about it. By doing this, we make the space as safe as we possibly can. Now it is up to the other person to use this safe space and share. Like I said, it's a team effort. But now we are not talking about something that's wrong. Rather, it's an open invitation for communication. And I also know that many of you will have objections to this. And I understand these objections. They sound something like this. You don't know my partner. Or if I talk to my partner like that, then I understand those objections. All I can say is the other way, asking what's wrong, isn't working for you. Unless you feel that it is. But I'm betting that it's not. So you can at least try this new approach a few times and see if you get different results. And with results, I mean a different level of connection. All right, I hope that makes sense to you. Remember, if you change your perspective, you can change your life. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love. Bye-bye.